Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StuffsReallyNow.com. And tonight, I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, but you know what it's like when you're building an empire, and it's an understatement. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream, because it's about your American wealth tonight, ladies and gentlemen, or shall I say, the slim pickings that is amongst us, because it's getting smaller. And we're going to talk about the asset building requirements tonight and forever, because you have no choice other than getting left behind. It will be bad news. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos, because you never know what's going to come throughout this conversation. The chat rooms are open. You're here, I'm here, and we're always here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, even though I'm a little bit late. But again, in the next few months, there will be an empire born, and it will come out of nowhere, and it will be a huge surprise. So you'll be able to join in one way or another, and you'll know about it first before everybody else. Okay, let's get down to business, ladies and gentlemen, because I have to discuss the wealth gaps in America, especially for people that look like me that are black in America. You have a problem, a huge one. Yes, the setbacks for the last 150 years is one thing. The laws, the systemic situations is another thing. But nobody's stopping you right now from getting your assets. It's harder. Yes, you don't get the assistance maybe, or you don't get the special inducements to do something, but there comes a reason. I'm about to explain the reasons. I am, in fact, I am not just going to talk about it. I'm going to show about it. All right? So let's go, because I already queued it up just so you can understand based on how you've been treated over the years. While we do have some people that are very successful, there's a reason the wealth is where it is, and there's a huge gap. And the reasons are varied. But one is, when you thought Jim Crow did not matter for nearly 70 years and more, it mattered. When you said some people get a leg up while others have to do their bootstrap, it matters. Because I'm going to roll over it right now for a lot of you who are watching who do not know American history. But if I fought in World War I right beside my brethren, and they said you can get a GI Bill, you can get some sort of reparations for going to war, we'll help you get housing. One side says yes if you look like a white person. The black people, they said, oh, hold on, or brown people, or yellow people, oh, I'm sorry, you fought for the country, but no, you can't get those benefits where you can get a house right now. I'm sorry. World War II comes, same thing, except some people did get it. Not the majority, but as true to form in America, white soldiers went home, got their GI Bill, got that housing situation. Majority of black, brown, yellow, they said, oh no, we don't have funds for you. You got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. So just right there, if I start in 1940s, here's how it goes. You bought a house for 5,000 in 1940. You can't, but one side can. In 1970, they can sell that house for 40, 50,000. At that point in time, you may not say that's no biggie, but you might want to think about 5 grand to 46 grand. That's 8x your money. So now when 1970s come, all of a sudden the second generation gets to have the benefit of the asset that has grown. So now they say, well, we paid off our house and it's now worth 50 grand. So why don't we just get our college fund together, our retirement funds together, stack stuff away. It's all good. We got 20, 30 grand. We can do it. No biggie. That's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is, oh, sorry, you had no assistance whatsoever. So therefore, you had to struggle in a Jim Crow environment where your only jobs were shoe shine, maids, car drivers, service industry. The odds of you being the CEO of a Fortune 500 was non-existent, zero. I mean, you might be able to get in upper management, one of you, but it ain't going to be like the reverse where 99% was other white people. No, who's getting paid the nice job. There might be one or two people that are minorities that even work in the whole building. So now, where are you going to live? You're going to live on on the side of town where you can afford to live. So when you do redlining, that means red lines. Where freeways were structured in America, it was red line. One side was a white people, the other side is multicolored people, we'll call it. Guess which houses on which side of the freeway or the fence or the canal or the railroad tracks is worth more value, even though they're the same home? You guessed it. The houses where the white people live, they are 3 to 4x more than the houses on the right. So once again, you stunt the wealth growth. You do that for 100 years. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I get to show you what I'm about to show you right now. Because this right here is where the creme de la creme pops to the top. Because you can't go hide, you can't run, you can't hide. Look at these numbers right here on your screen. Do you see it, ladies and gentlemen? Do you see what's happened? Some people are going, Eric, look at this. 80 to 84 listen, the first part, let's look at this. Wealth is heavily concentrated among white households, which hold roughly 80 to 84% of the nation's total household wealth. Does that look like a good number if you're not white? 84% of all wealth is in the hands of white people? 16% is spread amongst everybody else? And when you start spreading it amongst everybody else, some would look at this and go, oh, but look, the Asian Americans, their net worths are higher. Yeah, you know why? Because when they came, they said, we better be doctors, lawyers, dentists. They were doing these upper tiers, spending time in school for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years to get those degrees. But they are not a majority of the population, because even with that, 80 to 84% are in the hands of white people, which now means when your grandfather passed away, when your grandmother passes away, the majority of the time they have assets. Valuable assets, which is what's about to occur now. Trillions of dollars worth of assets are going to change hands in the next 10 to 15 years because the baby boomers are holding a lot of it. And guess where it's going? Majority to their families, which now gives them the ability to go to college, start businesses, get loans, have better credit, have better resources versus the people who live in the lower echelon. Now, look at the actual numbers. White Americans, 285,000 net worth. Still nice, but look what starts happening. The people that come across the border, they say, actually the border crossed them, because remember, a quarter of America was Mexico. The deal with Mexico was, if we buy your land, your citizens can stay here and we will adopt them and put them as United States citizens. Oh, whoops. We changed our mind after we bought the property. So no, they got to leave. How do you like that for them apples? But Hispanics is 62,000 median net worth. That's not good either. But look at what the black Americans are. This is by Brookings Institute, ladies and gentlemen. $44,000 is the median net worth. What does that mean? Median is a number. It's not average. Median means, let's just say there's, I don't know how many let's say there's 100 million black people in America. What they do is the median is the 50th. The 50 millionth person is the median, not the average. It's the median. The person directly at 50%. This is what they make. on the scale, 44,100. Same with everybody. That's what median means. They don't do the average. Median means out of all the Asians, they pick the one 50% right in the middle. That's the median. White Americans, so 50%, which is the majority. They have, what is that, 55, 60% of America is white Americans. So that's a high number because they are the biggest group. So that's where the problem comes in, ladies and gentlemen. If the largest group has the most wealth, and if the stock market or commercial property or any assets go up in value, then it dwarfs everybody else because they could not put in the same amount. I'll use the example I've talked about several times. If I put in 100,000 and another guy puts in 1 million, the stock market goes up 10%. One guy, 100,000, gets a $10,000 check, let's say, at the end of the year. The guy who put in 1 million gets a $100,000 check. That is what has happened in America over the last 250 plus years to give one side of the ledger a huge leg up because they get to benefit from things rising at a higher value versus one side who doesn't have any value that can rise up. In this case is the 100,000 club. So therefore, there's a huge difference year over year. 2 years, we got 20 grand. But in 2 years, the other guys got 200 grand. Do you understand? This exponentially over time grows to a large number and a disparity, 80 to 84%. Now, let's call it what it is. Because certain people are resilient, of course, there's always breakouts. That doesn't matter. I'm one of the breakouts. Don't worry. It happens. There's always going to be, if you have 50 million people, surely a few million have to do something or more. Let's get real. That's just basic numbers. But the bottom line is this should scare people who are especially black and Hispanic because we're almost 3 times, 4 times, 5 times less net worth than Asians and white Americans. That should scare you because remember, when you add the Asians on top of the white Americans, now all of a sudden you have these guys averaging amongst themselves 300 and something thousand of net worth versus the other team 40, 50,000. Not even that really. It's crazy when you think about it. 55, 54,000 is the median. There's nowhere you can live for that kind of money. So therefore, this is why jobs matter. This is why entrepreneurship matters. This is why wealth matters, building wealth, the American dream. Forget about it. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're here. You get to understand. Let me know what you say. And if you guys want to know, I cannot get into my emails. Just letting you know already, Brian P., everybody else who ever sent me emails in the last 2 weeks, I got a whole bunch of stuff going on with social media right now. They're listening. I found out today, this whole time since August of 2024, I've been restricted account and I don't know why. They said, we sent you an email. I was like, I'm not even on there enough to be restricted. But it's been since August of 2024 and I didn't know nothing about it. I was just trying to send somebody a message and it said unable to send last week or 2 weeks ago. And I was like, that's weird. I kind of ignored it because I thought there was a glitch. Then I came back a day later, unable to send. So I was like, oh, well, I don't know, whatever. But now, because we are doing the master plan, I had to do something with Facebook. So I tried to put in the company name. It came up error. Can't do it or something. I can't remember what it was. I was like, what the heck's going on? So, of course, I had to go get the services of AI and say, hey, what's going on? I can't sign up. Something's weird. It says, well, maybe you're restricted. I said, restricted? Where would you find this out? They said, oh, you go to your business suite. I was like, business suite? Where? Oh, go to the main menu on the left-hand side. You'll see something that says business, something, nah, nah, nah. I didn't see it. It wasn't there. So then it said, oh, pick something else. That'll take you over to this business thing. I picked that something else. That didn't work. Then the third time was the charm. All of a sudden, something came up. It was all good. But EV Place in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation. Let's get proper. Money Making Monday live stream. And he has that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. He's also an investor. He's also a business owner. He's also doing the SSN Nation way. Busted ass, taking names, kicking ass, and taking names. And he brings his tagline, good evening, SSN. I hope you're all doing well. Exactly. I hope everybody out there is doing well. You had a great weekend, because it's going to get a lot rougher out here. Did we not tell you 2 years ago that when you start doing tariffs, what was going to happen? Did we not tell you that your prices were going to go up? That there would be no manufacturing coming to America? That people would be losing lots of jobs? Good paying jobs. Does this sound like hashtag I told you so? I'm just saying. I don't know what you guys are out here doing. I don't know what the professors are teaching out here in business school these days. I don't even know what their financial studies are like, because this is common knowledge, common sense. This is history. And this did not change 3.7%, 3.8% inflation. Do you really think that's what inflation is? I got bridges to sell you. I got pet rocks to sell you, ladies and gentlemen. This is absurd. I told you before, they finally shut down the shadow ban, or shadow, what do we call that? The shadowstats.com, because that was showing the true inflation numbers, which were always 10 to 15%. Always. So even if it's 3.7, even if it's 2.7, it's really 12, 13, 14, 15. And this is like no different. So you can't put your head in the sand, because some of you that just saw that little information are sitting there going, well, wait a minute. My net worth isn't that. My average isn't that. My average is way lower. My average is way higher. Depending on where you're sitting, it all depends on what your upward mobility is going to be like when prices keep rising. Just looked at airfare, Sacramento to Las Vegas. I was shocked. Airfares used to be anywhere from $39, $59, $79 per person. $131 each way means it's $260 for stuff that used to be less than 100 round trip. I don't think that is simply a mere 20% or 3% or 5%. Do you? That is 300% more than what it normally would be. Do you guys understand what's happening right now? Everything I've said over the years is coming to fruition. I'm not trying to brag, I'm not trying to boast, but I'm trying to tell you, you better get your acts together. I told you this past 2 weeks, I said, you better get your IPs. Everything you wrote down, you should be thinking about, oh, by the way, the helper, the co-founder, the mad scientist in the lab as well, comes up with great ideas. And so therefore, IP is in order. Any chance you can get where you can license, rent, somebody needs it. And it could be a slip of paper. Like I told you guys, and I'm going to keep saying this, I wish I had every book report. I wish I had every report that I wrote for business classes. I wish I had all of them, because I'd be able to publish those things right now and actually make money through audiobooks, for instance. Actually make money through actually creating a book out of them. Imagine all of that down the drain, thrown out, never to be seen again. And their research material based on the time. You can go back in time and read and say, wait a minute, this person predicted this 30 years ago. That's right, because it would have the date on there. It would have your initials on there. It would have your grade on there, which would say something like a C. But wait, he was right. You would be a little like, how did he get a C plus? Hey, it depends on who's talking, who has the narrative, whose their thoughts are. Remember, the professors and all that, they're the professors. The teachers, they're the ones that dictate whether it's good or not. Does it mean that it's really good or not in the real world? No, it doesn't. But that could defeat a person's psyche. So that's why you have to be strong out here, ladies and gentlemen, no matter who you are, because there's all kind of knocks that's coming. If you haven't had enough yet, they're going to still keep coming. You're always going to have people blocking, people trying to stop you from no matter what, even your asset chase. But again, make sure you're doing the asset chase and make sure you're getting something that can give you perpetual money, because if you're not, you're going to be dead in the water T minus 2 years. Just saying. Why am I saying this? Because now the thing that I'm putting together, I've been doing some more homework. I found out some more stuff. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The Death Star has been created. It's needing fine tuning by the specialist. But after it's fine tuned, the Death Star is about to come out in about 7, 8 months or sooner. And this does the whole enchilada. The whole empire is rolling. And nobody can stop it, but they are going to frickin' try. Now that I even know some more of what I did not know, because I didn't realize all these conglomerates with their garbage software, their garbage business practices. Now I'm finding out why they have these garbage software and how they're treating the public. Because these guys are gatekeepers, and these guys are making sure that they're gatekeepers, and they're using their weight around. That 84%, just remember, they control corporations, companies, and when you're kicking their ass, they don't want you to be able to do anything. They're using everything they can. I'm going to give you a perfect example, which I did not even know yesterday, until yesterday evening. I was looking into app stores. And I was like, why doesn't anybody else have any big app stores? What's the big deal about the app store stuff, really? Come to find out, Android, open source, we love open source. We love them because they allow you to do whatever. They say no biggie. You use our phones. It's not part of our intellectual property, even though we could claim it, but it's open source. So feel free. You guys can create anything on the platform using Android. Apple, on the other hand, can you believe that a person that has an app for an Apple phone, if you're not on the Apple Play Store, you go and sell it on your app store, can you believe that they do not do a cease and desist? That they will send the person a 5% of sales invoice as the start of their playbook of litigation. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe this? They've been getting away with this to block the competition. This is a thing. Did you know Google Workspace, as I mentioned on Friday, I said it's garbage. I couldn't believe how garbage it was. It just fueled me even more. I said, they're building this garbage stuff. I could have built this 40 years ago. Are we serious with this garbage right now? Loops don't even loop right, can't even get back to certain sections. It's garbage. I even put on the Google and I said, is this stuff this garbage? Why is everybody using this garbage? They said, oh, you just hit on, it is garbage. Well, they didn't say that. They just said, yeah, this is some of the problems that people have said before. It's a major issue. I was like, major issue? This is like a little kid made it. This is supposed to be top of the line company? No, they're gatekeepers. That's what they're doing. They're not top of the line in nothing. And this is why the rest of the world is kicking our ass. If this is passing for top of the line, if this is anywhere near top of the line, then I hate to see what everybody else is doing, because they shouldn't even exist. I'm just saying, this is what we're dealing with out here, and I can't even believe it, because I've been in my own little bubble, because I've never cared about it for I don't know how many years. But I'm just letting you guys know the wealth train is coming to an end. And the end means they're controlling everything. Every instant step of the way. You want an email? Okay, come with us. You want social media platform? Okay, give us your information that we can sell. You want to listen to music? Okay, you need a license. You want to read that audio book? You need a license for that. You want to stream stuff, you need a license for that. Everything is on an IP, trademark, license, patent scenario. So this is why in 2026, I have to tell you guys, you're going to need IPs. You're going to need trademarks. You're going to need patents. Just don't sit idly by and just think because whatever you have, you'll be able to charge people for using it. Royalties is a word. License agreements are another. Take your pick. But either way, you have a check coming in every month. That's what you're going to need, that passive income stream. Remember, we talked about this 2 years ago when we were talking about buying royalties? You can Google online, you can buy other people's royalties with regard to music and film and things of this nature where they don't want, they'll say, well, I'm giving this up, this part of my license I'll give up because, it's no longer a big to do. But that also means how long is the license or trademarks or anything like that? It may be beneficial down the road, but if somebody's selling you something for 30, 40 bucks, you might want to take a flyer because all it takes is a person to have that song in a movie, in a commercial. Next thing you know, checks start rolling in. See, this is why IPs are going to matter. Write your book, get your IP, get your copyright. Several of them, get it. Everybody has a book in you. In fact, most people have 10. You have a life experience. You can do licenses such as traumatization license. In other words, you can make it good. You don't have to tell the full truth. You can embellish, but that's a license nonetheless. And if all of a sudden somebody comes knocking on your door, hey, we want to make a series or a book or a kid's story about this or whatever, guess what? You get checks because they're going to have to sell it where? Amazon bookstore? Yeah, okay. In a bookstore, right? Every time somebody buys it, every time somebody buys online, you're getting checks. So keep all this in mind. All right? And by the way, you might want to get your IPs together because we do have one way that can help you out in the long run. Again, I can't embellish what's going to happen any further than that, but I would suggest everything I'm telling you would be a good thing on your behalf. Creators, you guys out here, you're listening, guys that are out here, have influencers as they call it. Why get paid 40, 50% when you can get paid 85? I'm prepping you right now. All right? We prepping you. We're prepping you. In about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, we will be talking a different story. The same song, but then there will be names attached, and I can give you some more information. You're going to want to keep your IP. Why? Like right now, I'm streaming on several different platforms. The big boys. Who else is there? I mean, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitch, there's YouTube, right? We're all over, right? Spotify, iHeart. But guess what? They own all of it. So everything I'm streaming to, I don't own any of it. Other than, yes, I own the part that I did it. And yes, but they're monetizing it right now because they put commercials on the channels. And they're going to be willing to give me on most of the time 45 to 30%. That's it. And now, can you imagine there's thousands of these people that's like me streaming right now or loaded a video right now? Thousands. And they all have commercials on there. And some of these things have 1,000 views. Some of them have 100,000. Out of those people, those thousands or 100,000, how many people clicked on an ad or watched an ad? Well, it could be 6%, it could be 5%, it could be 10. But see, now all of a sudden you're like, well, wait a minute, are you paying $20 for per thousand, 25 or 30? Because now all of a sudden, that's $300, $400. And then if you drop another video and you have those same numbers, that means you can easily see where somebody could have in a 5-day period $1,500, $6,000 a month or more, because now you have merch links down below, right? You have things that you sell, or somebody might have given you a donation of some sort, super chats or anything of that nature, right? Just saying. But now there's going to be a new home. Just so you guys understand, for all you creators, influencers, and all that, there's going to be a new home. Check with this in about a month or 2 weeks. Actually, I'll be talking about it. I'll be talking about several things that's going to come. The Death Star has been created. If you don't understand the language, there's an actual, what I call a Holy Grail. And the Holy Grail is creating something that I've told you guys about many years, where I said, this is how you want to structure businesses. This is how you want to protect yourself. All that conversation that you guys heard me talk about for years, I said, I've been in retirement mode. I didn't have to do anything. But now I'm coming out of retirement. And I am doing exactly what I've been telling you guys to do. Remember the holding companies I've told you guys about over the last 5, 6 years? Remember I was saying how you would structure it to make sure that it asset protection the best way, right? Like you should be in Wyoming, for instance, or Delaware or New Mexico, but Wyoming is pretty cool. And remember, you should be in a LLC. It's fine. Managed LLC. Some states don't allow that managed LLC. Some say member managed. But either way, you need managed because you don't actually run the company. You actually work on behalf of the company. You're authorized personnel. That's it. You don't own nothing. Because soon as you say you own something and you write it down, you own it, even your holding company status will be revoked. If a lawsuit comes down, because the lawyers will be like, hey, wait a minute, look at this document. He wrote this, that he's the CEO. He's the president. What does he mean? Because we thought the company was a holding company owned by the company. He wrote that he's the man. That means it's his company. They could win. Pierce your corporate veil. Your holding structure goes out the window. This is why when you have a company, you should always not be the man. You should be authorized personnel signing for the company. Authorized person means you have a resolution that you can show people that you are authorized. That's right, paper trail, right? You have to show the company signed that you are authorized personnel, or you are the president and CEO. But it better be on another piece of paper that the corporation said that's who you are to authorize it. Now, yeah, I know what you're saying. You're saying you are the corporation, but see, that's just it. No, you're not. The corporation is a structure. You work for the corporation, but you're the one that dictates what you work as. If you sign everything for the corporation, that means you are an owner of the corporation. But as long as you keep putting down authorized person or signing on behalf, you better put up something, because otherwise, if you get in a lawsuit, which you will, because this is the litigious United States of America, the most lawsuits are in this country alone by far. Everybody's looking for that easy payday. And the competitors are trying to block you. So what they do is they try to make sure that you're under legal situations. They'll do little stuff. Here's the cease and desist. Oh, here's another thing. We'll stop you. Oh, wait a minute. Who's doing your business? Who you deal with business wise? We're going to go over there and talk bad about you. Try to squeeze them to drop you. They're doing all this, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it. You need some insurance after we bust your window. You know, it's a bad area around here. I think you're going to need insurance, right? Because we got some bad hombres, even though we're the one that broke your window. And if you don't give us any insurance money every 2 weeks, it could get worse around here. That's what these guys out here are doing, these chumps. All right? This is what is being emboldened, like they're doing something special because they hire all these people. Now I see why they fire so many people, all these magnificent seven companies. They hire people, fire 30,000 people, 20,000 people. You know why? They don't need them. When you're blocking the competition legally or by courts, they don't need it. They don't need to pay these guys $175,000, $250,000 a year. They're just blocking the competition so they stay on top. This is insanity. So that's where the wealth is, Americans. That's where the wealth is, even if you're not American. The IPs are going to win later. The trademarks, the patents, anything that's tangible that you can put in your name. You make music, you better copyright, trademark it. Or copyright and put it under the music, ASCAP, BMI, CSAC if you're outside the US. You better do something. Because leaving those loops open when everybody says in the music business and film industry, oh, my paperwork's messed up. That's why I didn't get paid. See, that's the problem right there because you didn't protect your assets. You didn't get your IP. You gave up your name, your stage names. You gave up your recordings. You gave up your publishing. You gave up your being an actor in the movie because you said, I don't worry, I need to check the paperwork. You already signed a release. Gave up your rights to any future thing when it's on streaming services. See, all these things that you're taking for granted, you need to make sure legally that you are getting paid. None of this, I'm coming out to the movie and hang around and stand around. Oh, I was in the movie. Oh, really? You got a contract? You got a speaking part? You got something that shows that you have your IP for when you were in the movie, or did you release it? Did you sign a release, sir? Yes, I did. Oh, sorry, we can't cut you a check on these reruns. Okay, this is what we're talking about out here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Brian P., Mr. Dividend has arrived. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Another investor's here. That's right, he gets his dividend money. And that's all we can say is passive income. That's what you want to do. And I'm pretty sure he's handling biz otherwise. And welcome again to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he says his tagline is, Happy Day, Eric. I hope all is well with you. It's going, man, and your family. Oh, man, it's going real well. I cannot complain because what me and an SSN Nation member are putting together is something that you guys will never believe. I can't even, at this point, I can't even describe it because you guys know me as, the guy, check, all this stuff. Here's the gear, Emerging Millionaires, CEO of your life, the slogans that mean something if you really think about it. No fear, no excuses, all that means something. Okay? Well, no fear, no excuses is going down when you know you can kick ass anyhow. See, confidence does matter. When you already know that you can already take people out, that's the problem, right? I was just trying to sit on the sidelines and just mind my own business. But like I said, an opening has occurred. And I was like, oh, I can kill some birds with some stones. Oh, this is going to be juicy and fun. So I'm doing it. Happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button. I love it, Brian P. Thank you so much. And Brian P., I have to tell you, I can't get into my Facebook account. I can't get into my Outlook account right now. I'm getting banned, shadow banned on YouTube. We're getting shadow banned on Facebook. I got another problem with Instagram, which actually is Facebook too. I don't even know where I'm shadow banned and messed up over, but it's coming to light because I'm having to use some of these platforms and I'm looking like, what the heck's going on? Why can't I sign this? Yeah. There's reasons. Like I said, gatekeepers are watching. They're listening on your phone. They're watching everything you do on your phone. I found out also at the App Store because I'm checking some things out. You iPhone users, and probably Android too, but you iPhone users, all your stuff is tracked. Everything when you buy, purchase, where you go, it's all embedded in your phone. That's how they can control their app store because if they didn't have that, when an iPhone user goes to another app store that's not by Apple, because remember, they're gatekeepers. They want to say because you're using their software, they have the IP, so allowing their phone to be hooked up with somebody else is against their rules. So therefore, they want some money, which is an IP, I might remind you. But they went to the extreme of you bought the iPhone, you don't own it, ladies and gentlemen. You think you do, but you don't. Isn't that a bitch? You spend $15,000 and you go rummaging through your phone. Tisk tisk. You don't understand the circumstances, but you will, because they are making sure that they have everything locked on you. I could not believe what I was reading. I could not believe what I was paying attention. I was just in shock. I was like, Jesus, I didn't realize the extent that these guys are doing to make sure there's no competition, making sure nobody else can eat off of their ecosystem. I'm sitting there like, oh my goodness. So you know what we did. Death Star has been initiated. That's right. It's going down. And not a damn thing they can do about it. We have helpers. AI helpers. So all I can tell you is, let's see where it goes. All right, here we go. It's all good. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm locked out. I tried to log in again. Have you heard of Above Phone? No, I have not. No, I have not. That's going to be very interesting. When are you going to tell me? Obviously, Above Phone is not going to be a iOS system, an Apple phone. Open source is Android, so I believe that. If you're going to try and bypass or do something, I mean, don't get me wrong, Android's not any different. I mean, let's call it what it is, right? But at least they don't do these things that Apple does. That's the thing. And Apple's not the only one. We're talking about all these big companies doing the same thing to stifle competition. Even though it's their product and even though you buy it, they still claim ownership because their technology's inside. So they can dictate to you the ecosystem. Even though you think it's free ecosystem, it's not. Right? So just think about it. Above Phone, he says, check out the website. Okay, let's go look. In fact, just in case this needs to be on screen, let's go check. Above, oops, that didn't work too well. Oh man. Oh yeah, I lost it, didn't I? I lost that. Yeah, I just realized I did, didn't I? Oh, that's funny, man. Why are you guys messing with me right now? Above Phone, he says. Wow, really? Above Phone. Let's go see. Privacy phones, laptops, tablets. There we go. Somebody actually understands the assignment. This is exactly the assignment. Above Phones, running a private secure check. Please hold. I love it. Oh, they're calling themselves a privacy phone. Okay, we're going to pull this up. Let's go. Let's pull this up a little bit, shall we? Let's go. Oh, man, I got to go get my mouse. Can't. Oh, wait. Yeah, we can. Here we go. Can we get it? Yep, there we go. Oh, wait. What's happening? What's this? Yeah. Access key insights for free. Could we enable some additional service? Live chat, analytics. There are no parties, no third parties. Your data is kept private. Oh my. We have a contender. We love this. We love this. We love this. I love it already. We have hey, that looks like an iPhone to me. What the hell is that? That's an Android. Yeah, what the heck's going on? Explore fully set up Graphene OS phones, tablets, secure Linux. Oh, they're running on Linux. Data sim, but Linux, that's open source. Best privacy setup, open source. Yeah, operating system, apps, software, services, above suite. Get your encrypted phones. Okay, well, how much are these bad boys? Let's go look. Let's show some love if they're doing the right thing. Laptops from $7.99. Okay. Phones from six. I'm not down with this. Where's my Chinese phones at? But okay, $6.99. That's cool. What else we got? Above Suite, $100 a year. Protect your internet traffic communications. 45-minute conference call with support engineer. Tablet, $849. Data SIMs. Cellular data without a phone number keeps you connected and safe. $19. Now this is interesting. So what network are you on? Hold on. I'm like, I like this. Hold on. We have our own little data SIM. That means we're running on a SIM card? Man, technology is interesting. Okay, let's go look, shall we? Service available in most countries. Okay, 5 minute setup. Yeah, I would imagine so. Okay, look. I'm moving around. Can't get stuff. Okay, look. Ah, what's this? Okay. Okay, these are SIM cards. So monthly and prepaid. So you're plugging it into a machine then. Is that what the deal is? So they're running it like an eSIM, like they say, data SIM. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Okay, not a fan of that. Okay, are they pretenders or the real deal? That's what I want to know. Thank you for that, Brian P. Now people can actually go there. That's awesome. By the way, you guys need some help out here. Findhelp.org. The American Wealth System. Books, music, film, all can make money for a lifetime. Copyrights, trademarks, IPs matter. You creators who create something, make something out of thin air, patents are available. It's not that expensive. You know who is expensive? The gatekeepers. The patents, if you know how to write them or know how to do it, any of it, USPTO, just like when you get trademarks, if you know what to write, and it costs 350 as it is. It used to be 250, right? It's 350. So now you might need more than one trademark, so it's $700. So that's not the hard part. The hard part is when you have an attorney and the attorney goes, "Oh, I can help you out, but it's going to cost you like 5, 6 grand just for me to get the papers and read it. And then I got to go check and make sure that this is probably going to pass, right? To say things. And, this could end up being 15,000, 12,000, 10,000. So most people don't have that number, but they have the 350 to 700 number for two patents. I mean, trademarks. But patents also are 350. It's the attorneys that cost you an arm and a leg. The gatekeeping squad. Because when you create something, you can't just go down and file that easily, right? Or can you? Or can you? But the point is, they make it where that seems like it's tough, it's rough, that you have this fear. Go to the professionals. Let them eat. Give them 10 G's, 5 G's, 12 G's, 15 G's. Because you can't go to the USPTO.com website and look up and see if there's a trademark with your name or likelihood of confusion. You can't do that yourself. They have a special system. This is it. This is the whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. We're playing in the smoke and mirror society. That's why you got to start thinking about yourself. The 775 credit score, you need. The bank account or real estate outside of America, you need. Did we say that? Again, bank account outside the United States, real estate or business outside the United States. 775 credit score by December 31st, 2026. The countdown started 2 years, 7 months ago. Why would somebody know the countdown 2 years, 7 months ago? You better ask yourself, because that's where I sit. Prices are way more than they were 3 years ago. And inflation is way higher. Good luck. Okay, cheese, bread sold at Walmart, Costco, and other stores recalled because of salmonella risk. There we go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. See, this is where it goes. All right. Hey, by the way, you guys want to get in on this little train? This is entertainment. I'm just going to let you know there has something to do with entertainment. Brian P was asking about investors. We're gonna have investors, but it's going to be a different way. It's not going to be termed investors. No, you're going to be in our worldwide loyalty program, and you get perks. Investor is the wrong word. You're going to be in a loyalty program. And there's a tier called Elite Titans, 15 slots. That's it. And it's yearly. And you have some special stuff that's going to be off the charts. I'm just giving you a preview. That will be up in, well, my aunt funeral is in 2 weeks. We have to go back to Vegas. So it won't be 2 weeks. So we'll call it March. In fact, why don't they just call it March 1st or sooner? Because I might prep it just to prep in case somebody wants to sign up and be one of the founders. Elite Titans. One is Elite Titans. We have founders too. Elite Titans is top dogs. There's only 15 of those. Those are annual. They're going to be every year. It's for preseason. Yes, there's going to be a season. I'm little things, little hints. And there's going to be a waiting list. Well, at least we'll form one. We don't even know if we're going to have 15 really, right? But we'll form one. And if you drop off after the first year, the waiting list members can take your spot. Oh, yeah, you have special powers. You have special things going on in our ecosystem. Did you get the keyword ecosystem? That's major in a business standpoint. Ecosystem that you've created. All right. Anything else you want to mention, Brian P, about any risk out here? Because that's exactly what we got. We got risk. Have you guys heard about the screw worm? Did you guys know about the screw worm as well? That's in beef. Told you don't eat beef. I've been trying to tell you, don't even mess with beef at all. In fact, eating animal foods is a risk. Just saying. I'm not saying I'm a vegan or I'm a plant-based person or and all that, but you need to be careful what you're eating out here. Told you all along, health is wealth. They don't really care about you like that. How many salmonella poisonings have we had over just the last 6 months? Think about it. It's insane. That's what happens when a year ago you fire your USDA office down to only a few people from a few thousand, and you expect them to run the whole country. Doing what? Sitting at a desk? Doing what? Being at 5 farms, 3 farms a day, or being at the grocery stores, or what? What the manufacturing facilities? You got 2 people for the whole U.S. I mean, seriously, what could go wrong? Any dummy can know what's going to go wrong, and somebody thinks somebody's playing 3D chess out here. This idiocracy stuff is crazy. This dumbassery is crazy. You might want to get somebody that knows what they're doing in charge, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, no reason to help them out because they're about to get their asses kicked. That's right. By a $400 per month company. You heard? You hear me? Unbelievable how weak our system is. It's disgusting. I'm sitting around here in email systems on another email platform. They say they're the second best. I go see these guys. The same mumbo jumbo garbage, except they're better than Google Workplace. They're a little better, but it's still a little weird. I'm sitting there like, you can't just program where there's emails, there's groups, there's separate groups. You can't just email it. Like, I mean, what is this? This is child's play. I can probably go get a 15-year-old right now to program better than this stuff. Surely. It's insanity. And this is why we're getting our asses beat all over the world. This is why nobody's really scared. They know the capabilities. And for us to pretend like you're better than somebody when you're not, this is why you have to black out your TV. This is why you have to alter media. Because now the media, they lie. It's crazy. And they let people lie and they bring them on and know they're lying and use that as propaganda against you. Just keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it's not for you. They're coming after you. You're helping them by backing them. That's the problem. And don't come crying later because it's going to be bad. All right, let's go. Soft drinks. Here we go. Specialty drinks in 25 states recalled due to salmonella. It's going to keep going, ladies and gentlemen. You want to eat the food? Good luck. You better start getting it in your backyard. We talked about health is wealth. This is part of the American wealth right now. If you're not sick, you're not in their system. You're not in the death system. Again, if you have not been down to a skilled nursing facility, what's a level below that? I don't even know, but let's just call it a rehab facility. You go searching around. Just take a day to go around to some places. That will make you get straight with your health real fast, because if you're 40, if you're 30, if you're 50, if you're 60, and you realize that if you get sick, you could be in one of these places, do you realize your family can't come there every day to protect your ass? You don't know what these people are doing. Some of these places don't even let you stay overnight. They want to close the door at 8 p.m. at night, so they don't watch your loved one or take care of your loved one all overnight while they're in there playing on their phones, watching TV. And you want to be ill in that system? Good luck. So you better get your backyard right. The American wealth is there. It's everywhere. But you're going to have to start using it like it's 1900. You can't rely on your government to come save you. They're not giving you no health care. They're not helping you at all with anything. Nothing except findhelp.org. Put in your zip code. Go to findhelp.org by Matthew Lesko. Thank him. God bless him. He's for 50 years been trying to help people. FHA minimum credit requirements. Everything to know 2026. Well, thank you so much for that, because if you want to get assets after this next little meltdown, you might want to have an FHA loan and pick up one of these duplexes, triplexes, or fourplexes, ladies and gentlemen. 580 credit score, 600 credit score, or there's actually below 580. Can you believe they would do that? And you only have to put down 4%. I know. Don't trip. They say 3.5, 3%. Don't worry. It's 4% because there's other fees. And this is why the paper chase, American wealth, can be had still, because you can get credit. Now, if you couldn't get credit, then we'd be in a whole world of hurt. Okay, here we go. Oh, he's already brought it up. Thank you. To qualify for an FHA loan, borrowers need a minimum credit score of 500. I told you, ladies and gentlemen. With a 10% down payment, or 580 with a 3.5% down. There you go, 4%. And by offering a flexible down payment requirement based on the credit score, this loan, they did go down to 500. I knew about that. That's why I told you, you don't need a 580 anymore. But here's the thing. You're going to have PMI because you didn't put down 20%. That's for insurance. That's going to be built into your loan, which also means your insurance is going to rise every year. So even though your loan might be one thing, but soon as property taxes and insurance come around the next year, if they increased it 1,000 or 2,000 combined, then your payments are another $150 to $200 per month. That's the risk. But that's why you don't try and get yourself a home with it. You need a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex. That's a 2-apartment complex is a duplex. 3-apartment complex is a triplex. Quadplex is 4 apartments. Very simple. Obviously, the real deal is trying to get 4. Shall I give you the other thing? You have to live in one of the units for a year. That's it. That's why you want 4. So the other 3 pay for your unit. You want to start building your empire, don't you? Residual income when you get older, so you can just relax. Right? Okay. This is what we're talking about. That's where you get the American wealth. Thank you so much, Brian P., for bringing up the stats, letting people know. Options offers millions of Americans the opportunity to become homeowners. Option. Are we talking about option like the finance guys? That must be. Again, they're going to loosen up the credit. Don't worry about that. You don't understand how this economy works. The economy works on cars, tech, Those are the first two things. Homes is the other. If all three of these can't sell, then there's a problem. The problem right now is homes aren't selling. Cars aren't selling. The only thing that got going is the stock market. It keeps rising. But that's the problem because prices are rising. So therefore, people can't afford to put money where consumers normally put their money. And now people are trying to get out of their homes, but they can't. Like I said, amongst 20 to 30 homes in this neighborhood, there's about 10 for sale right now. They're everywhere because people understand the assignment. If just like the assignment, let me see, 3-4 years back, there was a situation where the property values went up 20%, 2 years in a row. Was it 2020, 2021, I think, or 2021, 2022, right? So I was telling people you should sell your property, take out the equity, and put it in you know where, a bulk of it into the stock market. Well, do you realize if you would have picked the right, like Nvidias and who else were we talking about? Twilio and AMD and all these guys, their stocks were 30, $40, $45. Just so you understand, Nvidia went up to over 1,000. They split 10-1. Now it's, and their 10-1 split was around 109, 110. Now their stock price is over 200, 250, 225. So you would have 10 extra money, or more than that, actually, 20 extra money. Then you would have doubled that. Yeah, you're sitting pretty cool. Intel was 17 2 years ago. We had a conversation on the live stream. Somebody asked, what do you think about the $17? I said, you should buy some Intel at 17. Today it's over 100. See, if you'd have sold your home and put it into a nest egg in the stock market has doubled 3 times. Right, I know. All-time record highs under every administration in the last 4 or 5 years. I know, that's the Federal Reserve's job. You understand the assignment, you know where the wealth goes? 3 places. You need a business. You need IP, trademarks, patents. You need something so you can always get paid. Somebody's using your hardware. You got to get paid. That's a license. This is where we live now. This would not have flown in 1975 and below. That the person bought an item, but yet you still claim ownership of the item they bought after you sold it to them. So don't they own this item now? Not American laws right now. This systemic BS. Not anymore. Apparently, I can go buy a phone. It's not my phone. The insides of it's not mine. That's crazy to me. So again, American wealth is here. You have to understand how to get it. All right, let's go. National Highway Safety Administration. What's this? Discovered that the driver's seatbelt emergency locking retractor, may lock in certain Kia Tellers. Teller, is that how you pronounce it? Never heard of that. But are you kidding me right now? How did this pass? See, it's not safe out here, ladies and gentlemen. It is not safe. Wow. Even I can't save you from this mayhem that's happening. You're the one that's going to have to make the lifestyle changes. So anyhow, I don't want to be on here too long. I'm putting together this empire that's crazy. Excuse me. This is going to be, actually, it's not even really a textbook school thing. This is the kind of stuff that I used to tell people a long time ago, and they would look at me like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. This is foolishness. What's he saying? And now it's an everyday structure. That's why I wish I had my papers. So anyhow, I'm coming to find out the structure that I actually put together just from my own memories and things that I've done. because we have AI and Google and stuff, and I put it in, and they're telling me this is what corporations, basically the Fortune 10, the top 20 companies in the world, this is the structure they use. Now, needless to say, I never worked for any of these guys, so how would I know their structure? But I was just like not shocked, because you have to protect your assets. There's only one way you can protect your assets: if you own a corporation or have a corporation, and that is you don't own it and they don't run anything. That's the best protection you can have, but they still get money coming in with licensing, with IPs, with patents, with using our software, copyrights. See, all of these things add up into where it's a service industry. Allowing other people to use it, you get a check. You don't operate anything. Therefore, you don't have liabilities with public. See how this works? It's common sense in reality. I don't know what to say, but if you're really trying to do anything, you're not going to know, because you've never heard this. I mean, they don't talk about this in any school I went to. Sure, if I would have went to maybe at a Silicon Valley school, it might have happened. I was close, but no, my teachers were straight up IBM, TR. What's that? What's the other guys? What's some other guys? What was their? Oh, IBM, and it started with the T. They were basically on this structure thing, because they were like, well, we know everybody in here is going to be working for somebody else. So therefore, this is business management, is what you're teaching. They're not teaching, hey, this is how you construct a company. Like I said, until my roommates got a call from the CEO of a company in Japan or Hong Kong, I can't remember at this point, and they thought it was a prank call. They said, Eric, man, we hung up the phone on this guy. He said that he was a president or CEO of one of these companies over in some country, Korea, Taiwan or Hong Kong or wherever. I started laughing. Yeah, he was calling me. We got business. They're like, they didn't even know, because I don't tell people. I just make things happen. And they were like, what do you mean you got a business? I said, I got stuff on TV. Don't worry about it. You're like, what? What do you mean? So these kind of things happen. And it's going to happen again. I've just been in retirement mode. Texas Instruments, that's the one. That's the one right there. TI, Texas Instruments. That's the guys. Oh, don't be mistaken. They haven't left. Don't be mistaken. Just because you don't know who they are. They haven't left, ladies and gentlemen. The ThinkPad, IBM, you heard of them? Yeah, okay, just saying. They haven't left. Remember, just because your name isn't on something doesn't mean that you don't have partial ownership. Okay, let's go. I'm going to end this live stream because, again, I'm busy. We got things to do. We got empires to build. I want to bring you along for the ride. I just don't know how I can do it, unfortunately, other than a customer at this point. But at least you'll learn something along the way, because we're going to talk about structures probably in about 3 weeks after I have some other things done. Then we can actually get down to business on the structures and how it's all, you can even put it. And the beauty of this is, in the old days, we didn't have the luxury where I could tell you something and then you can actually just put it in AI and see what AI says. That's the funny part. Now you can actually verify what somebody says. You can just go, hey man, this person said this, and this, and this. Is this really how it works? And it'll tell you. Just saying. All right? Just saying. And we got to run. With all that said, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your support. I appreciate you watching for all these years. But please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. It's not going to get any easier. Don't even think that. It's not going to get any easier for you. It's only going to get harder and harder and harder. Unless you decide that you're going to expand your horizons. And those horizons mean American wealth is still here. You still have opportunity, but the opportunity is slipping by rapidly. The rich guys are getting so enormously richer that they're controlling too much of the space. And they're not going to let you in So therefore, what are you going to do? Now is your time to do something. The windows are going to close, I predict, after this little next meltdown. Of course, they will survive because they have the money. Just keep that in mind. All right. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we'll talk on another day. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you watching. But stay safe out here because you never know what somebody's going through. Just make sure you protect yourself, your family. Make sure you understand. CJ, CDJ, I see you out there. Thank you so much for being in the house. But just make sure that you're going to be safe out here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Wow. I just lost something. Oh, well. That's going to be... Oh, wait. No, that's going to be interesting. Just be safe out here because you just never know what somebody's going through. Right? You just never know. And due to jobs being lost, due to lack of livable wages, you just never know. It's just bad out here. So just be safe. Mind your own business. Handle everything accordingly. And I'm going to have to run because I didn't realize there's some other things going on in the background. But no matter what happens, just keep your head up. Keep moving.